Stop scrolling for 1 second because scrolling is about to change on you. What you're looking at is a landing page. Open in a normal browser tab. There is no cut in it, no page change, no loading spinner. The camera drops out of the hills, flies through a bubble tea kitchen, into the shop, and out onto the delivery streets. And the only thing driving that camera is the scroll wheel. Stop scrolling, and the world freezes. Scroll up, and time runs backwards. 10 days ago, an open source skill appeared on GitHub that builds one of these for any brand you can name in an afternoon. It's called Scroll World. Today, I'll show you exactly how the trick works, how to run it, what it honestly costs, and the one rule that decides whether your world feels like magic or like a broken slideshow. First, the trick. Because once you see it, you can never unsee it. You have felt this before. Apple's product pages, where the AirPods drift apart and rebuild themselves as you scroll. Here is their secret. The page is not animating anything in real time. Someone already rendered a film of that camera move. The scroll bar is just a video scrubber. Your scroll position becomes a timestamp, and the browser shows you that exact frame. Scroll fast, and the film plays fast. Scroll up, and it plays in reverse. A German logistics company called Aemons took this further than anyone. They turned their whole trucking business into one miniature world that the camera flies through, and that site is the direct inspiration for the skill I'm showing you today. The problem is that a page like this used to take a design agency and a very uncomfortable invoice. That is what just changed. So here is the repository, Scroll World, built by a developer who goes by OSO95, free and open source, under an MIT license. It is not an app, it is an agent skill, a folder of instructions and tools that plugs into Claude Code, Codex, or any agent that speaks the skill format. 2 commands install it. And in its first 10 days, it has pulled over 2,500 stars. Because look at what it produces. It generates the artwork with GPT Image 2, animates the camera flights with video models that can lock frames together, wires everything into a portable scroll engine, and hands you a working page. One person, one afternoon, and the kind of website that used to win agency awards. Let me open the machine and show you every gear inside it. Every scroll world is built from exactly 3 kinds of pieces. Say your world has 5 scenes. First, the skill generates 5 still images, 1 per scene, and every single prompt reuses the same style paragraph, word for word. That repetition is why the whole world looks like one place instead of 5 random pictures. Second, it generates 5 dive clips. Each one starts outside a scene and flies the camera inside. Third, it generates 4 connectors. The short flights that pull up out of one scene, cross the world, and land on the next. And here is the rule that makes or breaks the entire thing. So write this down. The connector never starts from your artwork. It starts from the actual last frame of the previous clip, and it ends on the actual first frame of the next clip. Every AI render comes out slightly different. So if you build the scene from the original still image, the join pops on screen, and the magic dies instantly. Real frames in, invisible seams out. That one sentence is most of this skill's value. So what is it actually like to run? 2 lines in Claude Code. Plugin Marketplace add. OSO95/scroll world, then plugin install. On Codex or Cursor, it's 1 line with Versal's skills CLI. Then you just ask for a landing page. And instead of guessing, it interviews you. What is the business? A word or a sentence is enough. Brand kit? It can pull your colors, name, and tone straight from your existing website. Art direction? Soft clay miniatures by default, or papercraft, glossy toy, claymation, neon night. Even photoreal architecture for real estate. Then the journey. usually 5 to 7 scenes, and it proposes them from your actual value chain farm to kitchen to shop. It asks about mobile, which is a real second film shot natively in portrait, not a crop. And my favorite part, before it spends anything, it estimates the full cost against your life balance and asks for a yes. More AI tools need to be built like this. Whoa, hold on, the page just stopped. You've hit the edge of the free world, and the gate here says members only. I'm kidding. Everything ahead is free. But while we're both standing at this gate, real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. And the gate is open. Now, let's go build one of these ourselves. I want you to see the actual wiring, not just the trailer. The full camera flights render on Higgsfield, which costs credits. So for this build, I did what you can do tonight for free. I generated 3 scenes with OpenAI's image model using the skill's own prompt template: a hillside coffee farm, a roastery, and a corner cafe. Same style paragraph pasted into all 3 prompts. And that is the whole trick. They came out looking like one world. Then I took the scroll engine that ships inside the repository. It is one self contained JavaScript file. No framework, no dependencies. It even injects its own CSS. You mount it with a small config, 3 sections, and for each one, a still, a clip, a headline, and an accent color. For the camera moves, I used simple push and pans as stand ins. The real skill replaces those with true AI camera flights. But the page you're about to see is real and running. And here it is, live in my browser, served from my own machine. Watch the scroll bar on the right, because that is the only thing I am touching. Scrolling down dives into the farm. Keep scrolling, and we fly into the roastery. Further still, and we land at the cafe, where the page ends on a normal call to action button. Now watch this. I scroll up and time itself reverses. Nothing on this page is an animation library. It is one continuous film, and my scroll wheel owns the clock. And the engine quietly handles the parts that usually eat your weekend. It plays every clip from memory. So scrubbing works on any host. It refuses to stack up seeks, so a fast flick on a phone can't freeze the video. It holds the poster image up until the film actually paints. That one file is worth the star on its own. Now the part no other video will show you, the gotchas, straight from the skill's own hard-won notes. 1. The content filter will fight you. Sea dance flags, completely innocent clips, especially bedrooms, pools, and spas, and even trigger words like bed, wine, or waterfall. The fix is dumb but real. Re-roll it, because it often passes on the second try. Still blocked? Add the words empty, unoccupied, architectural. Still blocked? Render that one clip with cling instead. Its filter disagrees with sea dances. 2. If you serve video the normal way, scrubbing can pin you to frame 0 forever, because simple servers don't answer byte range requests. That is why the engine plays everything from memory blobs. 3. Never let the camera reverse direction across a scene. Diving forward into a scene and then pulling backward out of it reads like a rewind glitch. For grounded walkthroughs, keep the camera flying forward the whole way and hand every clip the last real frame of the one before it. And 4, my favorite. On a Mac, run the batch scripts with bash, not zsh, because zsh counts arrays from 1 and it will quietly feed your connectors the wrong frames. Let's talk money, because AI video is not free, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. The skill runs on Higgsfield credits. The authors observed pricing on a plus plan is roughly 15 credits per still and 40 to 55 per video clip. A 6-scene world needs 6 stills and 11 clips. So the desktop film lands somewhere around 5 to 700 credits, and a native mobile version roughly doubles the video count. Now, the two moves that cut that bill. First, the draft tier. Sedans Mini renders the entire chain at about a quarter of the cost, so you fly the whole journey cheap, approve it, and only re render the final legs in full quality. Second, if you already pay for ChatGPT and have Codex installed, the skill can route all the still images through Codex's built in image generation, which is the same GPT image model for zero Higgsfield credits. And because the skill estimates before it renders, you approve the bill. You never discover it. Now step back, because the interesting question is who this is for. Sites like the Emon's World come from agencies at 5-figure prices. If you freelance or you run any kind of studio, this is a brand new product on your shelf as of this week. A local coffee brand, a gym, a wedding venue, a dental clinic. Feed their existing website to the brand kit importer. Pick clay miniatures or photoreal. Spend maybe $30 in credits on the draft tier and walk into the pitch with a scrollable world of their business. You don't sell them a website. You put the laptop down and you scroll in silence. And because the engine is one portable file, it drops into whatever they already run. Plain HTML, next view, even a Python served page. Nothing about their stack has to change. That is a service business you can start before the weekend. I wrote this whole system down into one free guide, the Scroll World Playbook. The 3-piece pipeline, the seam rule with a diagram, every install command, the style preamble templates, the content filter fixes, and the honest credit math, all on a few pages. Comment the word scroll and I'll send it to you, or grab it from the link in the description. And if you're just getting started with Claude Code or Codex, my step-by-step beginner guides are linked down there too. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, so follow wherever you're watching this. Because here is the thing. For 30 years, scrolling has meant reading. This is the first time your scroll wheel became a movie camera. And the people who learn to build worlds first are going to be very, very hard to compete with. See you in the next one.